ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆನಾ? ಎಸ್, ಯಾರಾದರೂ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆನಾ? ಹಲೋ, ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆನಾ, ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಹಲೋ, ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆನಾ? ಓಕೆ. ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ sensory organ is the eye. It is most important sensory organ. Okay, the eye are the organ of the visual system situated in the orbital cavity, which controlled by the optic nerve. Means the eye is the organ of visual system situated in the orbital cavity, which controlled by the optic nerves. They are provided in the human with vision. Okay, they provide human with vision, the ability to receive and process visual details. Means to ability to receive the process of visual system, as well as enabling several photoresponse. Okay, enabling several photoresponse functions that are independent of vision. Okay, that is the one of the most important organ for the visualizing. Okay, the eyes detect light and converts into the electrochemical impulses. Means the eye is detect the light, okay, and convert into electrochemical impulses in the neuron. Means the eye will detect the light, okay, that light is converted into electrochemical impulses to transfer the impulses to the neurons. Okay, next, the accessory structures of the eye. The accessory structures protects the lubricate and move the eye. Means it is the process of accessory structure to protect the eye and to lubricate the eyeball and move the eye rotation. Okay, they include the eye. They are included in the accessory structures. First one is the eyebrows, second one eyelid, third one is the conjunctiva, next fourth one is the lacrimal apparatus, next final fifth one is the extrinsic eye muscles. These are the accessory structures of the eyes. You already know what is eyebrow, eyelid, conjunctiva, lacrimal apparatus. Okay, you see this diagram of the eye. Okay, easily identify. Okay, next first one is the eyebrow. The eyebrows are protect the eye by preventing the perspiration from running down the forehead and into the eye, causing irritation. Means the sweating of the your head or other, okay, the after sweating of the your head, that time they will come the perspiration, that is sweat, that sweat from running down to the forehead into the eye. Okay, they will without eyebrows they will direct come into the contact with the eye, that causes the irritation of the eyes or some microorganisms, some salt materials. Okay, the sweat containing salt, okay, that material to be irritates the eye. That's why the eyebrow will protect the that running down the forehead. Okay, next, they also help the shade the eyes from the direct sunlight. Okay, direct sunlight will protect from the direct sunlight. Next one is the eyelid. The eyelids with their associated lashes protect the eye from the foreign object. Means the eyelids with their associated lashes, okay, to protect the eye from the foreign object. Means the directly foreign objects directly will pass light or some dust particles, they will directly enters into the your eye, they will protect the lids. Okay, lids. Okay, next, if any object suddenly approaches the eye, means any light rays directly passes in your eye, that what happens, the eyelids protect the eye by closing and then opening quite rapidly. Means the blink reflex, the light waves directly on the any LED or any lights will directly pass into the eye, that the eye lids are blinks. Okay, that is the natural process. The blinking which normally occurs about the 20 times per minute, the 1 minute the 20 times blinking process will be occurring. It is a natural process. Okay, also helps to keep the eye lubricated. Means it is blinking, it is very important. The eye lids are the wetted. Okay, why means the the eye containing lubricating agent means blinking of time, that blinking of time they lubricating the eyeball. Okay, next lubricated by the spreading tear over the surface of the eye. Next, third one part is the conjunctiva. The conjunctiva is a thin transparent mucous membrane covering the inner surface of the eyelid and the anterior surface of the eye. It is a conjunctiva is a thin transparent mucous membrane. Okay, is covering the inner surface and of the eyelid and anterior surface of the eye. Okay. Next, the secretion of the conjunctiva helps to lubricate the surface of the eye. Means conjunctiva is the secretion of conjunctiva helps to lubricate the surface of the eye. Means sometimes they will conjunctivitis. Okay, the conjunctivitis means inflammation of the conjunctiva. That is in condition of conjunctivitis. Okay, any microbial infections occurs in the conjunctiva, that is the conjunctivitis and inflammation of the conjunctiva. Okay, next fourth one is the lacrimal apparatus. Lacrimal apparatus, you already know the lacrimal apparatus, the lacrimal fluid that is containing the lacrimal fluid that is known as a tear. The lacrimal apparatus consists of a lacrimal glands, means lacrimal apparatus containing the lacrimal glands situated in the superior lateral corner of the orbit, means in the orbital cavity. The lacrimal glands situated in the superior lateral corner of the orbit and a nasolacrimal duct. Nasolacrimal duct means the connecting between the nose and eye, that is the nasolacrimal duct, the associated structure in the inferior medial corner of the orbit. Next, the lacrimal glands produces tear, means it is the function is the lacrimal glands, the production of the tears which passes over the anterior surface of the eye. The most of the fluids produced by the lacrimal glands, means the most of the lubricating agents or tear, these are the most of the fluids produced by the lacrimal glands. The lacrimal glands evaporates from the surface of the eye after the tearing. The evaporates, this tearing is the evaporates from the surface of the eye, but excess tear are collected in the medial angle of the eyes. Okay, these more tear, excess of tear are collected in the medial angle of the eye by the small duct called as a lacrimal canaliculi. That is known as a lacrimal canaliculi. These canaliculi opens into the lacrimal sacs. And enlargement of the nasolacrimal ducts. The sacs, the enlargement of the nasolacrimal duct which opens into the nasal cavity. Tears lubricates and cleans the eye. I means these tears are lubricating the eye and clean the eye surface. Okay, any dust particles into your eye, that time what happens, the tears come. Okay, the tears and the cleans the eye. They are also contains the enzymes, some enzymes that helps to combat eye infection, that will prevent the eye infection. Some of the enzymes they will tear, that enzymes will prevent the infection of the eyes. Next, extrinsic eye muscles. The fifth one is the extrinsic eye muscles. The movement of each eyeball is accomplished by 6 skeletal muscles called as extrinsic eye muscles. These are there are 6 types of extrinsic eye muscles. The movement of the eyeball means you see the diagram of the eye. The 6 type of muscles are here. That is they are the types. First one is the superior rectus. This is the superior rectus diagram. Second one is the inferior rectus. This is the inferior rectus muscle. Okay. Next, third one is the lateral rectus muscle. This is the lateral rectus muscle. Okay. Fourth one is the lateral medial rectus muscle. Third one, medial. Here you see the diagram of medial rectus muscle. Next, fifth one is the superior oblique muscle. Superior oblique muscle, that is you see the superior, this is superior oblique muscle, second one inferior oblique muscle. There are 6 types of extrinsic eye muscles. There are, first one is the superior rectus muscle, inferior rectus muscle, medial rectus muscle, lateral rectus muscle, superior rectus muscle, and superior oblique muscle and inferior oblique muscle. These are 6 types of muscles are present in the extrinsic eye muscles. Okay, next, the anatomy of the human eye. What are the anatomy of the human eye? First one, eye is divided into 2 parts. First one is the eyeball, second one is the light transmitting structure. First one is the eyeball. You see the diagram? Okay, you see the diagram. First one is the eyeball. The layer of the eyeballs, there are 3 layers. There are 3 layers. The first one is the outer layer, middle layer and inner layer. Okay, you see the diagram. Okay, there are 3 types of layer: outer layer, middle layer and inner layer. Next, what is the outer layer? The outer layer, it is the outermost layer of the eyeball, which consists of a sclera and cornea. You see the diagram. Cornea and sclera and cornea. This is the coming under the outer layer of the muscle. What is sclera? Sclera, it is the outermost white stuff wall of the eye. It is the outermost white stuff wall of the eye. It forms the back of the outer layer and it maintains the shape of the eyeball. You see the diagram of sclera? Okay, this is the shape of the muscle. Okay, next, cornea. Cornea, it is the transparent convex surface that covers the front of the eye. It contains no blood vessels. Okay, cornea contains, you see the cornea. Okay, cornea, this is the cornea, this is the cornea covering. Okay, it's not containing blood vessels. Okay, next, middle layer. It is present in the middle of the eyeball, which consists of the choroid, ciliary body and iris. Choroid, ciliary body and iris are present in the middle layer. You see the diagram of choroid, ciliary body and iris. Iris, this is the iris. Okay, iris, this is the ciliary body. This is the ciliary body. This is the iris. This is the, okay. Next, what next? Okay, choroid. Choroid, it is the layer between the retina and sclera. Choroid means it is the between the layer of cornea, retina and sclera. Retina, you see the diagram. Retina, sclera and retina. You see the diagram of this is the sclera and this is the retina. This is wall. Okay, between these two, that is the choroid. Okay, next, ciliary body. Ciliary body, it is the anterior continuation of the choroid. Ciliary body, you see the ciliary body, it is the continuation of anterior choroid. The anterior choroid is the ciliary body. Next, iris. Eye, you see the iris, it is the coloring material. Okay, it is the colored part of the eye. You see the color. Okay, the center of the eye is the lens. The near of the eye lens, that is colored part, is the iris. It contracts and expands. It a time any light contraction, more light, that time the contracts, and less light they will dilates. Okay, the expands takes place in the contrast media. Okay, it has a central opening called as a pupil. It is the central opening, this area. You see the diagram. This is the area. It is the pupil. You see the diagram. This is the area is the pupil. Okay, this area. You see the area. This is pupil. Next, the innermost layer. The innermost layer of the eyeball, which consists of a retina and macula. Macula and retina. The retina, this is. Okay, the retina, it is the innermost layer of the eyeball. It consists of the retina is the innermost layer of the eyeball. It contains specialized structures called inside the eye. This is the retina. Okay, see the retina. The inside of the retina, the containing specialized structure of cells, that is rod cells and cone cells. There are two types of cells in retina, that is rod cells and cone cells. That is very important cells. These are, what is rod cells? Rod cells contains rhodopsin, which is sensitive for dim light or night light. It is night light. These are active in the night light or dim light. The cone cells contains iodopsin, which is sensitive for the daytime vision and colored vision. It will help to the colored vision. Okay, we will see the color pictures with the help of cone cells. Next, macula. Macula, it is the smallest area opposite to the center of the pupil. It is macula also in the another one sensor organ like ear. Someone asked a question for that. Okay, who is that? Ashwini. What is macula? As it is same, both are macula, the present in ear and eye. In the eye, it is a small area opposite to the center of the pupil. If the pupil area is there, that is center of the pupil. That pupil area is small opposite center. In the ear, you know the cochlea. The cochlea, inside of the cochlea, that is the area is there, that is also macula. Okay, that is also macula. Okay, Ashwini ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಯುಲಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಐಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಓಕೆ, that is the macula. Next, the second one is the light transmitting structure of the eye. Means how to light transport to the eye and to make a image or make a electrochemical signals. How to convert the light rays to convert into signal. Okay, light transmitting structure of the eye. The transmission of the light into the eye is followed by the three structures. These are lens, aqueous humor and vitreous humor. There are lens, aqueous humor and vitreous humor. The lens is the lies behind the iris and pupil. You see the diagram. Okay, iris, this is the iris, this is the pupil. Okay, center part of the pupil. That pupil, it focuses the light rays on the retina. You see the retina. This is the retina. Okay, retina, this is. Okay, next, that retina. Okay, the lens lies behind the iris and pupil. It focuses the light rays on the retina. The aqueous humor, it is the fluid which present in the both anterior and posterior chamber of eye. Okay, what is aqueous humorous? It is a fluid which is present in the both anterior and posterior. This is the, you see the diagram, this is the anterior this is the anterior, this is the posterior. Vitreous humor, this is anterior aqueous humor. Okay, next, vitreous humor, next the posterior chamber of the eye. Okay, next, vitreous humor, this is the jelly like fluid which fills the space between lens and retina. This is the vitreous humor. It is a jelly like fluid. It is like a jelly which fills the space between the lens and retina. They will covering the lens and retina. This is lens and retina, the covering area of the, this is vitreous chamber. Okay, next, what is the mechanism of or physiology of vision? How to vision occurs in our eye? What is the process? There are two types of rod cells and cone cells. What is the cell's activity? You see the animated diagram. Okay, the first one, you see the diagram, light, these light rays are enters into the rod and cone cells. Light enters into the eye through the cornea. Cornea act as a entrance window. This is the cornea, entrance window for the light. Next, second step, For the cornea, light enters into the pupil and iris. The light rays enters into the pupil and iris. The pupil and iris regulations the amount of light entering into the eye. Means the pupils, they will control, pupil and iris they will regulate, means control how much quantity of light will pass to the pupils and iris. They regulates that amount of light entering into the eye. Then light reaches to the lens. Okay, then light reaches to the lens. After the lens, the retina contains millions of specialized photoreceptors. Okay, the retina contains the millions of specialized photoreceptor cells, that's called as a rod cells and cone cells, that converts light into the electrical signal. Light is converted to the light energy is converted into electrical signal that transmitted through with the help of optic nerve. With the help of optic nerve, they will transport to the brain. Okay, that signals are corrected and combines into the one image. After the signal, they will combines into the one of the image. This is the mechanism of vision. It is very important. You see the diagram, you will understood this. Okay, are you understand? This is the light rays. What happens in the light? These rod cells, colored cells is a cone cells. Okay, it is white cells there now, that is rod cells. Okay, this is the mechanism of the vision. Next, another one most important organ, okay, that is the skin. Skin is the most largest organ of the body with a total area about 20 square feet. It is the area total about the 20 square feet. The skin protects us from the microbes and the elements, helps regulate the body temperature, to maintain the body temperature, and permits the sensation of the touch, heat and cold. Okay, what is the skin? Skin is the largest organ of the body with a total area of about 20 square feet. The skin protects us from the microbes and the elements, helps to regulate the body temperature, and permits sensation of the touch, heat and cold. You see the diagram of the skin. Next, what are the structure of skin? Structure of skin. It is made up of 3 layers. First one is the epidermis. It is the outermost layer. The middle layer is the dermis. The most inner layer is the hypodermis. There are 3 types. It is a very important question for what are the structure of skin, or write a note on skin, or draw the neat label diagram of the skin and explain with neat label diagram. They will ask most time of the examination. Okay, the point to be noted. Okay, next is the first one is the epidermis. Epidermis, it is the outermost layer of the skin. The cells in this layer are called as a keratinocytes. Okay, this is the most outermost layer of the skin. The cells in layer is called as a keratinocytes. The keratinocytes are composed of a protein called keratin protein. It is a composed of the protein that is known as a keratin protein. The keratin strengthens the skin and make it waterproof. The keratin strengthens the skin, and they will strengthen the skin and make it is waterproof of the skin. Okay, next, second one is the melanocytes. The first one containing outermost layer, that is the keratinocytes. Second one is melanocytes. Melanocytes that produces the melanin. You know the melanin, it is color in block. Okay, the melanin pigmentation. You know the melanin pigmentation. The melanin, that is the function of produces the melanin, are also present in this layer of the epidermis. Okay, in addition to Merkel cells, Merkel cells essential for the light touch sensation and Langerhans cells part of the immune system are also present on the skin. In the melanocytes that produces the melanin that also present in the thin layer. Okay, it is present in the this layer in addition to Merkel cells essential for the light touch sensation, means light sensation and touch sensation occurs in this melanocytes. Okay, the Langerhans cells part of the immune system, it is very important. The part of the immune system, any microbial entry into the skin or any broken skin microorganisms, viruses, these type of immune system are the also present in the skin immune system. Okay, next. The epidermis is subdivided into the following layers. First, stratum corneum, granular cells layer, spinous cells layer and basal cells layer. There are 4 types of epidermis divided into following layers. First one, stratum corneum, granular cell layer, spinous cell layer and last finally basal cell layer. Next, the basal cell layer, it is a beneath all the other layer of the epidermis. Okay, basal layer, it is the beneath of the layer, it is the last innermost layer of the skin. Okay, that outer other layer of this epidermis where new cells are produced continuously, means they are inside the last innermost layer of the basal layer, their production of the or new cells. Okay, the spinous and granular layer, as these cells approaches the next layer, the vary in their shapes and size. These irregularities gives rise to the next layer. Irregularities gives to the next layer, the spinous layer, above which the cells proceeds to granular layer, means which proceeds to granular layer. This results in the formation of the protein called as keratin. This is the process. What is this spinous and granular layer? All these cells approaches the next layer. They are vary in their shapes and size. They are irregularities gives rise to a next layer, the spinous layer, above which the cells produces to granular layer. This results in the formation of the protein that is called as a keratin. Next, stratum corneum, the outermost layer of the epidermis, it is stratum corneum, which consists of dead and uniform scale-like cells, which are overlapped. These cells contain abundant keratin and provide rigidity to the skin. Rigid form, they will form a rigid formation. Okay, means the flake formation, that is the most rigid form of the skin, that is stratum corneum. The outermost layer of the epidermis is stratum corneum, which consists of the dead or uniform scale-like cells that is overlapped. These cells contains abundant keratin and provide the rigidity of the skin. Next type of the epidermal cells. There are 3 types of epidermal cells. First one, melanocytes, keratinocytes and Langerhans. These cells are located on the basal layer of the basal layer and produce the pigmentation.